Now we review House of the Dragon, Heir of the Dragon, or something like that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am Richard. This is Random Street Theater, and my friends will not let me see the second episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law or Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, until I review the first episode of both of them. Well played, Dan. Well played. So, and here it is, I've got to talk about it. Of course, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. Let's save the world together, so the world can be a wonderful place full of dragons. Anyway, so, yeah, what we have is that you have the king, and his brother is the heir to the throne because he has no son. Excuse me. Wolf has a dire need to be in this video. So, his wife, the queen, is pregnant. The king has no heir, and or the king has an heir that is his brother. He has a daughter, not a son, but the queen may have a son. So that's the premise of this episode. I think you all know how it goes because of the commercials, but I'm not going to spoil it for you, even though. These, of course, are the Targaryens, and you know that Targaryens have a tendency to be crazy and evil. So, without giving away any more of the plot here, because, I mean, it's not a hugely plot-ish episode. There's a lot of action in terms of jousting and dueling. The jousting and dueling is reasonably gory, if that's your thing. It's not terribly period accurate, in my opinion. But then this is fantasy, not period. So, yeah. It can be whatever it wants to be. There's that. Of course, the Targaryen dude's armor, the prince's armor, is awesome. I will say that. There is a fair amount of man-hiney. And I have some cat-hiney in my face. There is a fair amount of man-hiney in this particular episode. One thing that happens is, of course, the prince, he has the knights, he has the people that guard the king's city. They're under his control, and he goes, let's make the people fear us, fear the law, fear the color yellow, he says. So they go out and do some unpleasant things and show some man-hiney. And if you want to see some, as man-hiney, if that were a woman's hiney, I would have totally been into that. It was a incredibly clean, cellulite-free hiney, as hineys go. At first, I couldn't tell if that was a dude's hiney, but then they cut his dudeness off, and then there was that. So yes, you also get to see the prince's hiney, and I think you get to see his lover's hiney. Then to make up for all this hiney, they give you a scene in a brothel where lots and lots of hiney and boobage can be seen, but of course it is very brief and not all that great. Why would you put all that money into a set piece, by the way, and not use it better? It was a lot of costumes, even the lack thereof in there, and you're like, wow, there's a lot going on in that scene. Can't really tell what it is because it moves by so fast, but maybe if I had watched Game of Thrones, which I haven't, I would know this stuff. But I will tell you, this takes place 300 years before Game of Thrones, and the Iron Throne has a lot more accessories, and so on and so forth. So, again, look, the dragons are cool, the acting is interesting. I would say put this on your watch lists. It doesn't totally wow me. I don't understand why Game of Thrones was that popular, but then this is just one episode, and hopefully it'll pick up. But yes, you find out what's going on with the heir to the House of Targaryen, and the heir to the throne by the end of the episode. Yes, and, well, Princess Overbite appears to have an evil seed inside of her. But she's a Targaryen, so of course. Now, apparently my cats want something, so I'm going to go find out what it is. Enjoy the next episode. I will hopefully watch it soon. Dan, I'm Richard. Salutations, plebeians! It is I, Stephen Miller, emissary and advisor to his dark orange lordship and the real President Donald Trump, reminding you to comment on and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, or I will suck out your eyes and feed them to my two tarantulas, Meredith and Red Pill!